Sega.
Wasn't expecting to ever go back to stream Sonic Adventure so soon. I say so soon as the Sonic Adventure 100% run was like 2020. So that was like 6 years ago. We're back. We're playing some Sonic Triple Trouble. And you may be asking, yeah, what the Sonic Adventure? That's not Sonic Triple Trouble. That's not even close to Game Gear. Well, there were many different re-releases of the Game Gear games over the years. And Sonic Adventure DX is still the go-to way of playing a lot of Game Gear games. At least for me. As in the PC port of the game, the Game Gear collection was added back in via mods. So I'm going to be playing through Sonic Triple Trouble via this version, as it gives very clean scaling, very clean visuals in general. I would have used the Sonic Origins versions, but I'm going to be honest, the Game Gear emulation on Sonic Origins I do not like at all. I think it's pretty bad. So, I rather use this. So this was Sonic's fourth action game on Game Gear. One of the most popular characters, Knuckles, and an expert treasure hunter, Knack, make their appearance to add a unique twist to the game. Retrieve the Chaos Emeralds with Sonic and Tails. I'll go ahead and jump in. These are all the controls: spin dashing, straight dash, proper flight. All this stuff is what we were used to playing on the Triple Trouble 16-bit. So let's jump in. Oh my god, it's crunchy. I may have to also adjust the volume because this game is going to be a very different beast. Let me go ahead and try to fix that now. During this intro, I can turn this up a little bit. Actually, let me turn down a couple clicks. Around here should be probably good. Actually, let's go down 2 more to be safe. So this is it, Sonic Triple Trouble on the Game Gear in particular. I'm trying to remember, did this have a Master System version? I don't think it did. A lot of Game Gear Sonics did, and that's what I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah, we got the remix as I tabbed out to go look this up. Okay, that's fine. You just get the hot Sonic Triple Trouble remix as I'm going to Google this. Which is funny, the first thing I get is actually the 16-bit rendition right next to the wiki entry on this. Yeah, no, this was only Game Gear, that's why I figured. I think this was the time where they stopped porting a lot of these Sonic games to the Master System. We're gonna play as Sonic for this one, as I kind of felt like I abused Tails a little too much on the 16-bit variant. So we're gonna play this with Sonic. So I gotta remember to get rings in this because special stages aren't just find a giant ring. You have to find the rings and bring them to the ending because there'll be a special ring at the end for 50 rings, which is the norm for a lot of Sonics. I will say though, this does kind of run like crap. And that's nothing to do with the version I'm playing. I mean, just the game itself is very, very choppy. That's just how a lot of Game Gear Sonic games are, to be fair. They are very choppy. I'll say I'm just kind of skipping in the game itself. It's kind of weird. Also, hang on a second. Let me see something. I don't think I have this routed anywhere in particular, but I'm going to play it safe because it almost feels like I'm hearing this twice, which is maybe why I'm thinking it's skipping. Which is the whole reason why I'm not playing the game on Origins, which would be hilarious. I'm getting the same bug here, but it's not. Okay. Kind of a weird optical illusion. Can I land? There we go. Not gonna guarantee I'm getting all the emeralds in this, because I don't know how, by comparison to the 16-bit variant, which was just the same as a lot of other Sonic games. I will say, if you're still in the chat yourself, Matt, I might be asking you for some of the pointers and certain things to do as someone who's recently completed the game a couple times. So if I need to get something in particular in a stage, like, it'd be fine to point that out. Wow, those shoes last for all of 5 seconds. Also, this spring leads to nothing, because I hit my head on the ceiling, so what's the point? That's a really terrible place to spring. Oh, kind of wanted to go up. Also forgot, a lot of Game Gear Sonics did this, but the HUD, if you get near a wall, it gets hidden by the wall, which is terrible, because I can't see anything at that point. But that's just how these games were. I have no idea why that was a problem, though. It's some weird layering issue. Well, I guess I'm not getting that stone. I didn't realize I'd be under the level. Now we're on a boss fight, and you can clearly tell because I just get rid of your HUD for some reason. Even though you can still collect rings, now you can't see them. That's another thing I remember about this game I did not care for, because it makes no sense. It's not even a limitation at that point. It feels like a creative decision. Oh yeah, now I remember why Kid Me never beat this. I forgot, some levels just kind of do this crap. Which is extremely cryptic. Literally makes it look like I can't do anything else. Like, alright, here you go. This is the personalized Sonic Triple Trouble experience. You soft launch yourself. I don't know how, you just did. It just... Kid Me can never figure out where to go. Like, you can't just run through a wall, because spin dashing just doesn't work. And you can't jump up because... Why? You have to bounce through the floor in a very specific spot. Again, you can see why Kid Me had a problem actually beating this, because that's a little much. Alright, this guy is way smaller in this version. I actually like him being a giant turtle with guns in the reimagining. I can always spin once when I hit a spring. I can't do it again after I hit the enemy. And he's dead. I'll smirk to that. And here's our Knuckles, still messing with us. Burns the whole Game Gear up. To be fair, that's what it does to my assortment of batteries. Alright, let's see how you interact with the carts in this compared to Triple. 16. Yeah, it's the same problem where you have, like, no momentum. Alright, and that's how you move them. You probably could do that as well in 16-bit to get things started. But I just never tried that in the 16-bit version. Nice assortment pack of rings. Now, I don't want to go back up. And they're gone. Can't even get those last two. There's a ceiling cap. Can't go as high as the ceiling. Why? Oh, those are actual fans. I thought that's just a background object. But no, I got stopped. These are real. For some reason. That's very strange. Oh, also, the thing is, and this is something I do appreciate with the fan reimagining, the original game just loves springs, from what I understand, because there's springs everywhere that just bounce you back and forth. There are less of those opportunities to get spring-trolled in the 16-bit variant, and I prefer that. Alright, how do I get that? I can't get momentum from a spin jump. That just doesn't work. I gotta go from up here then. There we go. Barely. Another emerald. Is that my second one? That should be. There's no way of actually checking though, by the way, because you pause and it just freezes the game. Your traditional pausing in this kind of game. Yes, I think just keep track yourself what chaos emeralds you got. I kind of want to see the special stages though in this, because I want to compare from the remake. But we haven't gotten to a single one yet. Rocket shoes. Might as well skip half the level. At least for as long as the shoes last. Oh. It's a good thing I stood to the top path. Ah, okay. Yeah, that's the fake out. Because now we're on the train. It's a whole lot of nothing so far. I killed like 2 enemies, jumped over 1 pit, and then there's just a long straightaway. I just kind of crammed all the enemies in 40 seconds later, what it feels like. And then they just don't stop coming. This is a very long train. Wow, they really just dragged this part out. Because again, I'll give this credit in the 16-bit reimagining. This part wasn't nearly as drawn out, and it was a proper level. Nope. Tried to jump on that one, jumped too late. Unfortunately, if this is where my checkpoint puts me every time, this is gonna take a while to constantly redo all of this just to fight the train boss again. Riveting gameplay. We got a little bit of a break, and then back to the same old song and dance. This is a little much. I feel like the train could be half of the size. I hit the thing once. Oh, and there goes all my rings. So when the train bobs like that, oh come on, man. Yeah, this is a painful section. When the train bobs like that, that's when you need to take advantage of where this guy is located. So, because of that, I don't have many attempts fighting this guy if I lose my rings. I gotta be extremely careful when I get there not to lose them. Because trying to hit him and dodge the spikes at the same time is not that great. What was that jump? I jumped once and he went backwards. Why? How many lives do I have? Because I feel like I'm running low. I do have 2 continues at least, so it shouldn't be a big issue if I die here too many times. I just don't want to. And mind you, I am playing a version that doesn't have save states, so I have to do all this in one go if I want to beat the game. If you're gonna play this game, I would just recommend play it via a version that does have save states of some kind. Like 3DS Virtual Console is probably a good way of going if you have that. I can't say go buy it anymore because of the eShop being down. But realistically, I know most people are probably just gonna emulate this off of like a Game Gear emulator, and that'll give you save states and rewind. That's probably the better way of playing this instead of what I'm doing through a game collection. I mean, to be fair, this boss is very easy. You only hit it 3 times and you're done. It just needs a certain rhythm. Unfortunately, because that was a boss fight stage, I couldn't see my life count, so I kind of want to see what I have. And now that I'm in the jungle, I can actually see it. 0. Alright, one more time if I died in that stage, and it would have been a game over. So, that was a little too close. Okay. Nice! It just threw me into the enemy! I love when springs just throw you into danger. Oh, I'm going backwards now. Oh, you can't stand on that twig. It's just a background object. Okay. That was an interesting warp down. I guess clipping the edge of the ceiling was enough for the game to say, go back, like, 10 feet down. So many rings. I kind of need to get these, to be fair, because I am needing an extra life or 2. So I'm gonna farm all these rings for a second. That should fix my 0 life issue. There we go. Oh, these little bumpers give you a lot of momentum when you hit them from a spring. I'm gonna fall down because I don't want to hit those spikes. How am I not getting a special stage yet? What triggers a special stage in this? Because I could have swore I would have got one by now with 100 rings at the end. I'm just going to look it up. Because it's obviously different in this one. Alright, special stages. Because I want to at least play a special stage from this. So I can actually see the differences. Let's see. Yeah, there's 2 different variants. I know that much. Can be accessed by obtaining a Chaos Emerald item box for carrying 50 or more rings. So every time I hit one of those, I've been under the 50 rings. I've just been getting really unlucky. So I've been wasting those, which is kind of bad. I forgot, yeah, a lot of the Game Gear Sonic games really had some weird stipulations to get into special stages, and it's usually you have to find them in a level in a very specific spot. But then this one takes it a step further of finding them, but also keep 50 rings. So actually getting the special stage in question is pretty difficult. If I made problems before saying there ain't no way I'm getting all the Chaos Emeralds for this. Because actually getting to the special stages isn't that easy. Nice, you were not even on the screen. And that's how you get the ring capsule. That's my 50 I need, but I want to stay down here. Just in case. You never know what's on the bottom path. He just looks so happy riding this elevator. Okay, that was just a background object. I thought I saw something on my left. It's a checkpoint. Oh, nice. Let's send you right into death. I love it. No, 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 no. Thank you. I was wanting to at least grab the ring, because I knew I was going to get flung right back into the enemy, and that just would have been a loop of death. This is one thing they didn't bring back in the remake, and you can see why. That's a spring shoe. So think of the spring power-up from Mario Galaxy, which, funny enough, that controls better than the spring power-up from the Mario Galaxy series. Imagine that. Oh, there's a Chaos Emerald there, but I don't have enough rings. I want to get rings and then go back for that. I should be able to get to it. As long as I go back up the way I came. There's also this. Oh, more spring shoe. And it also gets nuked with another spring. Alright, forgot that detail. So that unfortunately means now I can't go back up there. I need to find an alternative route. Oh, great, you respawn. I think I might be better off dying so I can go ahead and actually try the special stage. Because I want to at least do one of these, and I can't do that if I don't have the rings. Well, good news. I can hit the thing and waste it. Why would I do that? Okay, an extra life. Well, that's good, because that kind of fixes the I'm out of lives issue again. But I don't want to go that much further, because again, I want to get that special stage, but I can't do that if I don't have the rings. I'm actually now thinking about it, I might have screwed myself, because I think I need that spring shoe to get to the extra area. That's actually gonna be a problem now that I destroyed it. I'll see if I can MacGyver our way up there. So remember right here. Enemy. Oh no, I can hit this. That's still not far enough. What if... No, never mind. Okay. I need to take the L again. Where'd he go? Oh, now you give me one of these. Which, to be fair, doesn't actually help. Now, at least. Alright. Time to die. Alright, I know the sequence now to get to the Chaos Emerald with 50 rings. So, let's do that. Wait, where am I? Is this the beginning of the stage? Wait a minute, why am I here? That checkpoint was still active, right? I didn't have to hit it again just to go back. Wait. Yeah, this is the wow. Oh, that's archaic, man. Because I didn't hit the checkpoint again, it didn't count anymore. Wow, I don't like that. That is stupid. And I don't even understand how that works game logic-wise. I guess there's a flag that's sent as a temporary thing. So if you don't hit the checkpoint again, well, guess what? Reset the flag for the checkpoint. So I gotta keep on hitting it. Oh, that's dumb. It really does not make sense. I don't know how that works on a coding standpoint. That seems like a really weird oversight. I'm gonna hit this checkpoint every time I see it now, because I don't want to keep on redoing the beginning. There we go. Now I jump into the sparkles, and that's the special stage. So here's our first variant. This is a maze-like stage. It's like a proper platforming level. Okay, I'm not gonna roll there. I keep on jumping. Why am I jumping? Can I hit the spring? How the heck do you make that? He keeps on jumping for some reason when he gets to the slope. I don't know why. There you go. I couldn't go through that with the speed from the spring. It just didn't let me. So instead, I'm just gonna roll. My spin dash gives me enough speed to make this jump. Another clock. Can I not go any further to the left or the right? Excuse me. I guess not, because it's not really letting me go over. Let me try again with a running start. Okay, that was inconsistent. Okay, I'm gonna have to land. No, I want to go right. I'm facing the wrong way. Okay, how the heck do I hit this? There we go. The spring is too large in this section. That's why I keep on clipping it. I literally can't go that way. I keep on getting blocked from the spring of all things. Why? I just want in. I just want in. There's no other area to go. I'm literally trapped. This spring hitbox is too big, dude. How do you get out of this? This is awful! I just want in! Why can't I get in? That's what I'm doing. It's not working. I'm holding A when falling down here, but I'm not getting the clearance to get in the hole. It's just not letting me. Oh, this is jank beyond belief, dude. Yep, I'm not getting in there. That's just not happening. I cannot fit. That gap needed to be like a couple pixels wider. Because you just can't get in there due to the spring hitbox. It's too close to the wall. I can see why that wasn't brought back in the 16-bit reimagining. Because that special stage is pretty bad. Interesting idea until you literally can't make any progress. Oh, here comes the caterpillar. Which looks super goofy in this one. Just, I have no care. That's his expression. I'm just here. And I don't know why I'm here. Put me out of my misery. Thank you, Sonic. Oh, that's right. This is gonna have some hazards just like the remake, but this is a little bit different. It's not an escape sequence, it's just fire from the sky. Thankfully, as long as you keep one ring at all times, this section's pretty harmless. You just keep on collecting the same ring over and over again. And that's it. Knuckles back again. Still burning up the forest, as usual. Well, at least I got 4 continues, so we're not game overing anytime soon due to that. Oh yeah, snowboard time. But it's only in 2D. You can't do that 3D stuff. Game Gear wasn't powerful enough for 3D. And it's gone. Wait a minute. In case you find another Chaos Emerald, give me some rings. As long as I don't take a hit, now we're set. Are there shields in this? I haven't seen a single one. So something's telling me no. Okay. You know, like, hit the wall, or... I'm trying to hit A right before. Oh, that doesn't work. Okay, so can I climb? There was a lot of interesting decisions made in this title. I'm just gonna say that. I think they want you to break this, but that ain't happening. And this is only half. Okay, so I gotta figure out what the heck's going on here. There we go. Yeah, okay. Can I just say, how inconsistent is that? I'm trying to hit this wall on the bottom left side. Does not crack a single time. I'm just trying to jump up here to the top ledge, accidentally break the wall. That is extremely inconsistent. Like, what am I supposed to do about that? And the answer is nothing. Just hope the wall cooperates today. Because what in the world, man? I can't even hit that wall, and I'm in a ball. Extremely inconsistent walls, because some of them break, some of them don't with the ball. It's about momentum. But even with momentum, the game still just sometimes says, ah, not today, Sonic. Yeah, there's a lot of jank in this, man. Like, I don't know. This is why it's really nice to see a fan-made remake of this specific game, because I would not recommend this one to most Sonic fans nowadays, because it's aged like a fine milk. Not unplayable, but there's a lot of jank in this game that really does hold back the level design, in my opinion, right now. Alright, so if I miss that, I gotta redo all this again. That's just inconvenient. Alright, so stick more to the right. Making that left jump's probably possible, but it's just safer to go to the right. There we go. Oh yeah, that's not happening. That is not happening with the inconsistencies I've been dealing with here. I'm not even gonna try to break that wall on the right. Just go to the left. Why do I feel like I shouldn't go that way anymore? And go down. Wait, actually, yeah, we're going backwards. I think this is the most rings we've had at this point in this game. I don't know if I'm getting any higher than 169. Okay, well, I guess I can take that back. There's 179. And that's apparently a pit. Okay, the game literally tells you one square beforehand. It is safe to fall down the snow. That is progression. Next square over. Oh yeah, by the way, that's death now. I would call this quarter munching kind of style, because that's like a thing an arcade game would do to the player, but this is not an arcade game. That's just padding. Ooh, that's a troll move. You actually have to jump off the wall here. Otherwise, you just die. And it's a good thing we stocked up on these continues, because I'm dangerously close to constantly game overing. So it's not going to be a concern, but man, we're dancing with danger here, and I don't like it. Alright, a little too steep. Oh, okay, in the transition where I couldn't see it coming. We're gonna come down here, or are we just gonna do this all day? I think I'm seeing a pattern here. No? Okay. I think I know what they want me to do now, and if this is exactly what I'm thinking... Yeah, that is annoying. You have to hit this guy when he's not shooting enemies at you with a running jump. So I'm gonna be constantly losing this one ring. Because the hitbox of this fire is a little insane. But now he lost a little bit of his jet booster down here, so that does make this a little bit safer. He ironically becomes easier the more hits you get into the boss. So now it's safe to jump down here, right? Imagine the game still killed you there. Oh, Knuckles, this is the third time you burned my Game Gear screen. Okay, well at least you got new tricks, because it's not fire for once. That's a total plant. Just realized that. Didn't even realize it in the 16-bit. I said planet originally, but no, it's just plant. Oh, what are those eyes, dude? Oh, that's cursed. Looks like Sonic's drowning in the bubble with that cross-eyed look. Like, just take a close-up of that. Let me do that really quick. Okay, there you go. It's gonna look cursed because it's definitely getting somewhat stretched when I do this. There you go. That is very cursed looking. What is that expression? He is so derped out of his mind in that shot. That is insane. It's him trying to look up and down, but oh man, that does not look right. Especially when you freeze frame it. Oh, wow, the worst place for that to run out. I don't want that yet. I want the rings, because there's a lot of rings. At least I don't lose all my rings when I do get hit, so I can stockpile up a bit. It's so inconsistent on Sonic games if you get some rings lost when you take damage, and then other games just lose every ring when you take damage. So it's nice to have one of these 2D Sonics that's not losing all your rings when you get hit. Because that's kind of how I prefer it, honestly. I mean, as someone who's grew up on Shadow the Hedgehog, when you only lose the... Okay, I didn't even have a chance... No, excuse me, a chance for that checkpoint. Someone who grew up on Shadow the Hedgehog, when you only lose 10 rings when you get hit every time. That's really nice. I want more games to do that. That's why I was excited when Sonic Frontiers had that same feature, but that's only when you started to upgrade your character. Yep, I knew that was gonna happen. Oh man, it's so laggy here. It's hard to get a jump out. Like, what is this game's frame rate? 10? 15? It definitely chugs. You can feel it chugging at times. It's trying to do 30, but it definitely does not hit that target most of the time. It's a very graphically intense game for the Game Gear, you can tell. Hey Adrian, how you doing? We're just gonna, I guess, go down here. Okay, I was trying to land somewhere to jump, but I guess it's fine if I get a bubble. Okay, that's not what I wanted. I can't get in there. Between 10 to 20. I almost read that as 120, and I would have laughed so hard. A Game Gear game even attempting 120 in the 90s would have just never made sense. Okay, there we go. Now I'm in. So now, we're gonna ride this bubble backwards because that gets me those rings. Unfortunately, that's all that's over here. I was hoping maybe I could have found the Chaos Emerald. I don't know where it is in this stage, to be fair. Yeah, Sonic in like 23 FPS. Yeah, but pretty much. The thing is, again, this is a demanding game for the Game Gear, so I'm not blaming it for the frame rate thing. Someone who grew up on Ocarina of Time, the frame rate doesn't really matter too much, as long as the game is still playable, obviously. Let me go down this time. Can I not, actually? Yeah, this is a section I have to, unfortunately, turn around in. Plus, I have to now anyways, because I'm going to drown if I stay here too long. I'll say, don't hit the snake. Under 20 is nice to look at, but only visually appealing. I mean, the reason why... I mean, we're not gonna... I can't believe I'm having the frame rate talk for a Game Gear game on that one. That's just the funny, ironic thing when this game can't get close. 120 frames is not a thing you're wanting for visual purposes. You want it for input lag. The higher the frame rate a game runs, the less input delay it has. Hence why it's really good for a competitive game, like a shooter or like a racer. But... yeah, most games, 30 to 60 FPS is more than enough. I mean, 60 frames for most games, like a platformer or action game, stuff like that. That's really all a lot of the games need. So they get 120 FPS in certain titles. Like, I like 120 FPS in, like, Metroid Prime 4 from what I've played of it in that frame rate. But the game doesn't feel too different going between 60 and 120 in terms of like input delay and such. So that's a game where if it didn't get the 120, it wouldn't have been that big of a deal. But it is still nice to have regardless. Because some stuff does feel smoother, like the mouse stuff feels smoother at 120. I don't know, if I get the option to play at a higher frame rate, I usually do, because again, input delay kind of stuff, it just usually feels better. But it's also not like a huge selling point in some ways. Like, I had a lot of people comment on the Steam Deck review when I was showing off the LCD model in particular, because that's the one I have. A lot of people were like, oh, the OLED's better, because it just is. But some people were claiming because of the screen obviously being better because of the higher refresh. And I'm gonna be honest, the difference between 60 and 90 FPS isn't that much on a handheld to me. Like, yes, it's gonna be smoother, but I also don't really mind I'm missing out on the higher refresh because everything I'm playing on the device still feels great at 60. And if I'm playing anything competitive, it ain't on a Steam Deck. I'm just saying that now. I never like those kind of gatekeeping kind of comments. Those are usually the first comments to go, because that is not really a conversation people are trying to have at that point. That's just people essentially mocking you for no reason. There we go. I'm trying to get to this capsule before I left again. I got to wait for the bubble. I'm gonna drown. Are you kidding me? No bubble? Yep, thanks. Thank you. Nice troll move, guys. So, let's give him the bubble as he's drowning to death. It'll be funny. Well, it's a good thing there's a life right here in the beginning of the stage. So every time you die, you can just go and get this life, which is what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna go up this time. Almost clipped the spike on that one. I don't see a reason why you would come up here. Alright, we're going back down. Okay, for whatever reason, that refills my air. And I immediately canceled it by accident. Didn't even know you could. Don't know how rocket shoes, which don't even work like rockets here. It's like a torpedo shoe. How does that work underwater for making you breathe? I'll get the second one, I guess. Yeah, I never knew. I mean, to be fair, the frame rate thing, I didn't really know myself until I actually experienced a higher frame rate gaming experience myself on my own, like, high refresh rate monitor. I tried, I think it was 144 hertz monitor once before, and I couldn't really feel too much of a difference, but I only got to play on it for like maybe 30 minutes. So I couldn't really tell the frame rate difference for input delay at first, because it was just something I didn't have that much time to play with. But if you want to know about frame rate stuff now, and you're playing a game on PC, unlock the frame rate, pull up a performance metric of some kind, because they usually tell you latency in the game with the frame rate. You'll notice the higher the frame rate, that lower the number goes. So that's why a lot of people like playing at a higher frame rate, just because of the input delay. Oh, God. Well, at least I'm up here now, so I somewhat salvaged it. You know, now actually saying that, is there any way I can see what this game is running at? I don't think my overlay will tell me for the Game Gear game in particular. I think it's just going to tell me the Sonic Adventure DX program. Yeah, you can't see it because it's getting cut off here. If I just squish it back for a second, it's only showing the 60 FPS. It's not actually going to go any higher, but you can tell, you can see the frame time is about 16.6 milliseconds. That would go down by half if this was at 120. So instead of 16, that'd be like 8. I also love how it's on my face, by the way, because my PNG Tuber software is technically a PC game. So what am I? What is that frame? Am I 2 frames a second? Oh no, sorry, it's being cut off more. I'm 400 FPS. Wow, I'm good. Although, once I open the program, I'm 165. So I become my monitor, I guess, at that point. This is still funny. When I minimize it, that's why it's going so insanely high. I'm at 480 FPS on myself. Good to know I'm a high frame rate. That is really weird, but also really funny. Now I know if I'm going to show off performance metric stuff in games, maybe don't do that when I'm a PNG guy, because it's not going to work correctly. That's funny, but also not a good thing. Oh crap, oh crap. Oh, I got the bubble. I don't know how. You're a game playing a game. That just sounds like a saying for life at this point. Man, this level really does not play nicely in this Game Gear emulation. Because that music is definitely skipping a ton. Nope. That feel when you had 50 rings, excuse me. Man, imagine 50 Chaos Emeralds. You had enough for the special stage, and then you get hit by a random worm. So now I can't get the special stage. This is what I don't like. This is not a Triple Trouble exclusive issue. A lot of these Game Gear Sonic games had this problem, and I don't know why. But you had to find the Chaos Emeralds in these stages to actually get the emeralds, or even to play the special stages in the case of this game. And I just never liked that. To be fair, it's trying to do the same thing. Oh, well, I guess I have a second chance at that special stage now. It's trying to do the same thing as what, like, Sonic 3 did with find the special ring in a level to get the Chaos Emerald, but there were multiple rings in a level for Sonic 3, compared to only one Chaos Emerald in this game, where that limits what you can find. You have to know exactly where to go. You're not gonna do that on a first-time playthrough. Oh, that's also a troll move. This is a whole wasted section here. I shouldn't even go that path. I think I'm gonna take the L, actually, because I want those rings back. By the way, just found out now you can hold up and go faster. That would have been nice to know earlier. Down makes you move slower, too. That also would have been nice earlier to know. Man, I just wanted those rings. Oh, come on, dude. I got a really weird jump out of that. No, I just want to die. I mean, I'm not getting all the emeralds, but I want to at least see if I can get the other special stage variant. I should get a different one now being in Act 2. That's why I want to at least try to get this Chaos Emerald here, because I don't know if I'm going to have another opportunity like this again. I'm trying to see if we can do the second special stage variant now. Oh, how did that clip me? I was nowhere near that spike ball. Jank hitbox, dude. No? Oh, come on, man. That is just so annoying. Momentum here is just so strange. Oh, I'm gonna die. I gotta go back. I can't continue forward. At least now if I broke this one platform, I'll go up with the bubble. $46. Oh, don't tell me that's not enough. Okay, good. That worked. I don't want to go too far because I don't know when the stage ends. But I can't go any more to the other direction. I think I still went too far, actually. I think that screwed me. Again. Man. Can I go back at all? That's right, you're not stopping me. I am going back. Oh, no! No! I hate everything. I now missed it. Wait, does that still count? I don't think it does anymore, because that definitely went off screen. There's no way that's gonna work anymore. Yep, that does not count anymore. Wow, this is so finicky. I'm not surprised. I'm gonna die one more time, because I just want to see the second variant. And this should be the 3D special stage if I get in. I'm just getting really screwed over here by Jank. Sorry saying the game praise. I mean, the thing is, the game is fine, it's just aged like a fine milk, that's all. Because I can see appeal to it, but at the same time, not any of the Game Gear games are games I would really go back and play nowadays. Because they are all full of jank. And they have all aged pretty poorly. I honestly prefer going back to play like Sonic 1 and 2 on the Game Gear. I would prefer playing those via the Master System because I don't like the screen crunch. So if it has a Master System variant, I would rather play that version. This is, again, when they stopped doing Master System variants of their portable Sonic games and just started to make these Game Gear exclusive. But to be fair, what I'm even saying, most people don't even know because a lot of the Game Gear Sonics were ported to the Master System, but they weren't available here in the West, unless you're in Brazil. Brazil got a lot of Game Gear love for many years. At least not Sonic Blast. To be fair, yeah, could be worse. You could be Sonic Blast. Because that game is legit bad. Like, not even just bad, jank bad. No, just it has a lot of issues. And it's known to be one of the worst Sonic games, just in general, by many fans. Doesn't even look all that great, which is ironic for the art style they were going with. Okay, there's no way we can screw this up now. There you go. Holy crap, that took like 10 minutes. And it's the maze again! I wanted to do the other one! I think I need a Chaos Emerald probably to go to the 3D one. That's probably why we're here again. Always save state these special stages. That's a good idea. Crap. You really can't in this version. That's the issue. Yeah, you kind of have to save state these because they are kind of a hot mess. My issue is that stupid gap that we were dealing with before when we were here. I can't get through it because of the giant spring hitbox. So I need to find a different route. I say as I found the same thing that got me stuck before. I'm gonna look up a playthrough of someone going through this because I don't want to fail it again. I don't want to get stuck in here because this is not working. Not the 16-bit special stage. I just want to see how the heck they get around this stupid spring because I literally am stuck here. Oh, how are you supposed to know that? That just works. How does that make any sense? These aren't solid from the side, but they are on the top. That makes no sense. So, remember the inconsistency thing I talked about back in Robotnik Winter with those walls? Yeah, there's more than just that. Walls are a suggestion and also a requirement. Like, how? That is really dumb. Okay, can I stop hitting the springs? Oh god, I forgot. Like, this is spring hell. I need to go slow, and I can't do that when I hit a spring. There we go. Just have to clear the jump eventually. Alright, Chaos Emerald number 1. Oh, man, that was a mess. To be fair, if I can't get the other special stage, we'll just look at a video. But at the same time, I would like to see the second one. And I should be able to get it now because I cleared this one. I think that should be in the next rotation, a 3D one. This is truly a game. It's aged. Again, this is not that bad for 1994. I believe that's when this came out. I remember reading on the title screen. But yeah, by today's standards, it has issues, that's for sure. Okay, yeah, the next special stage is a 3D one. So if I can get to the second Chaos Emerald somewhere, then I'll be able to do the flying one. Matt, you can answer this one. Is there a secret final boss for getting all the Chaos Emeralds in this version of Triple Trouble? Because I don't remember hearing that in particular. Wow, I'm surprised I'm still going through the floor with that. I thought this only ends after the final stage and not like a secret final boss. Alright, we made it to the end at least. Right before we drowned, too. Okay, there is no secret final boss. Okay, so the only difference you'll get for getting all the Chaos Emeralds is just the ending changing, which is really not a big deal. Oh, this guy is just gonna be a joke, isn't he? Yeah, if I can just get stuck on the side of his capsule, there's not much of a boss fight here. I say that as he shoots me in the face. The problem is, though, the momentum in the water is really slow. So trying to catch back up to where my ring is not going to be ideal. And you're constantly moving, so a spin dash is not going to really work. Actually, no, this is not water at all. It just looks like it's still... No, he's breathing on the water. Never mind. This is still water. Say, I saw a drowning timer before. Yeah, okay. Talk about the biggest pushover of all time. Okay, here we go. Final zone. When you get all the Chaos Emeralds, you just get the credits. Alright, so, yeah, again, kind of a nothing burger for not getting the Chaos Emeralds here. I got like 3 of those rings. That did not work out at all. You have to hit the jump button again when you're rolling off a ledge because you don't stay in the ball form, which is really weird, and that messes with my muscle memory. Wow, I think that was an extra life. How do you even get that? Yeah, because oh, nope, never mind. I was gonna say, I'm constantly moving, so I can't just turn and grab it. Turns and grabs it. You just barely have enough time to do that, though. That's the thing. Oh, that was a bottomless pit. Okay, so I have to take this slow. If I was Tails, I could probably skip all this because of flying. Hey, Hedgehog Fanatic, how you doing? Oh, that's the ending. Okay, I did not expect that to take me to the goalpost. I thought that was still gonna be more stage. It's kind of short. I got all the emeralds? No, I only got one. To be fair, I don't really know where all the Chaos Emerald locations are since it's the first playthrough, so that was the thing I expected. But I got them all in the 16-bit remake, because we just played that before playing this version, as I'm playing the original to compare the two. Okay, I mean, congrats on getting a lot of score on Sonic 2. Don't really need to brag, though. Oh, okay. Didn't expect that just to be spikes. Don't go down anymore. I think that's a pit. After the second ring box. That feels like a ROM hack move to me. Well, I'm just so used to ROM hacks. Hey, look at this! I can at least see the second special save variant now. This is more comparable to 16-bit remake anyway, so this is the one I actually wanted to play. So now we get 80 rings. If we don't get them all, we fail. Sonic is the only thing that has a hitbox. The plane does not, and holy crap, you can feel it. Okay, you don't lose the rings when you get hit by a bomb, but man, does it stun you for long. Oh my god, dude, this is bad. I'm missing so many rings because of how small my hitbox is. And they don't show up until you're almost on top of them too, because of draw distance. So I'm missing so many rings because I don't see them until they're here. Which is funny, because this special stage variant is a thing they use later again in the franchise with the Sonic Advance games. But it works a lot better in Sonic Advance! I think both 1 and 3 have you on the back of the tornado, like on the wings and moving back and forth to get rings. And that just works way better than this. Okay, if I get all these rings in the trail, I should have enough. Yeah, there we go. We're good. Why does Sonic keep on looking back when flying? Good point. That is not safe. Oh, this is how you fight Fang in this one. Okay, that's kind of weird. Because he was in these special stages before. At least when we were here in Special Stage 1. But I didn't think much of it. I thought it was just a story-related element to show him here. But no, this is where you actually fight him. And you beat him, get the Chaos Emerald. That is really weird. Because if I don't beat Fang, I don't get the Chaos Emerald. That is very weird. Oh yeah, Advance 1 was Falling Board. It's just Advance 3 you're on the plane. But to be fair, Advance 1 Falling Board setup is the same as this. Just instead of plane, it's board. But you get the idea. Advance 2 was the worst though, because Advance 2 special stages were just a mess to unlock, and even when you got to the special stage, it was very difficult because you're running around trying to get all these rings in a timer. But the rings were scattered all throughout this 3D level, and you had to collect them all, I believe, to get the Chaos Emerald. It was a lot. Like, Advance 2 special stages are some of the worst in the franchise, because they made you do a whole job just to unlock one Chaos Emerald. I've 100%ed Advance 2 like once in my life. I've gotten all the Chaos Emeralds, unlocked all the characters and such, but I don't really see myself doing that ever again unless I do like a video series on the Advance games, because those special stages are way too much. Especially just unlocking them. Unlocking the special stages is terrible. Can I not just like stand on the edge? Guess not. Well, I'm going this way now. I gotta figure out where to go, because it's kind of a maze. I keep on finding the spikes. That's been easy enough every time. Oh my god. Well, finally time to use one of those 4 continues. Hey, Doy's television official, how you doing? Where is this? Okay, this is the beginning. I was wondering, because it didn't hit a checkpoint. Sounds like a nightmare. Yeah, Advanced 2 Chaos Emeralds are terrible. Because what the game expects you to do... I don't remember, like, what do you get again when you do that all for the 5th time? Because I remember you had to get all the Chaos Emeralds with Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Cream. And then when you did that, that unlocks Amy. But I can't remember what you got when you did all that with Amy. If you even get anything. But that is another thing you have to do, technically, if you want to 100% the game. And it's awful, because there's a lot of crap you gotta go through. Again, the game kind of feels like a full-time job if you want to get all the Chaos Emeralds, because that's a lot of work. And there's really no payout. Oh, I see where I need to go now. Just keep on flubbing the jump. There we go. Yeah, momentum on that kept on screwing me over. I kept on undershooting or overshooting. I'm gonna wait here, actually, for the platform. Okay, well that accidentally worked out. You have very weird momentum in this game because you're very heavy, but also very floaty. It kind of goes in like 2 different directions based on when you jump in the air. It's very weird to describe. Because you notice how he has like a slow start. That's the heaviness of Sonic. But when you're in the air, he starts becoming a lot more floaty. But it doesn't happen right away. That's what's weird. It's so odd to explain how the game controls because it's something you have to feel to really understand, but Sonic has a lot of heft to him in this game. I noticed that a lot with the Game Gear Sonics in general. It just has a lot of heft to his movement. I was waiting for that to be a pit, just to screw me. It's like, what is this, a dimp Sonic game? The answer is yes, there's the pit. Amy unlocks nothing if you get all the Chaos. That's what I remembered. You just get all the Chaos Emeralds for Amy at that point just to complete your file. Because the game tracks if you got the Chaos Emeralds with all the characters, technically. So, yeah, that's a nightmare. You don't get anything for it, so just don't do it at that point. Do it for the other characters to unlock Amy, and then quit. That's why I recommend if people want to go down that route. Can I not get up here? Hello? Thank you. My momentum will just screw me over every time. Wait, does the Chaos Emerald reappear here? I wonder. Amy's the actual 100% file. Essentially, yes. And to be fair, because of how hard it is to unlock Amy, just play Sonic Advance 2 via emulation and download a save. You're welcome. Like, if you just want to play as the character, you're better off going that route because it's just a lot of work just to see how one character plays. And she's pretty competent in the game, don't get me wrong. She's a fun character, but I don't think she's worth all the effort. Not even close. Nope. Butter shoes. God, honestly, I would love to like cover the Advanced series at some point on my channel, but Advanced 2 specifically is the one game that's like made me put that off for many years because it's such a chore. I've only ever done it the one time because of how bad that is. And it's something I'm not looking forward to having to do again. I know nowadays actually getting all the Chaos Emeralds is a little bit easier because there are better guides out there for that kind of stuff. So you can actually... Oh, okay, I guess I'm not going this direction. I just want to go right! So I was trying to say, there are better guides out there nowadays than what I used back in, like, 2005? Or whenever it was I did 100% Advanced 2. So, nowadays, it's not as hard to figure out where to go to get all the rings in a level to get the Chaos Emeralds, but it's still a chore. And something I don't want to do. That's the problem. Like, there are certain games I would love to cover, but they are hard games to make videos on for one reason or another. And the big one for, yeah, the advanced games is just the difficulty, obviously. Okay, I see what I need to do here. There we go. Just trying to hug to the right wall, that's enough to get to the pipe. There's actually one game now I'm talking about, stuff I've wanted to cover. I would love one day to be able to cover Bomberman Hero in particular. I've never covered a Bomberman. That would probably be the one I would play at some point on my channel. The thing is, though, I would like a modern re-release, because that game only got re-released once, and that is on the Wii Virtual Console. So I can use that version to record and get cleaner visuals, but at the same time, I would like a version that has save states, because I would like to have an easier way of saving files in between sessions so I can pick back up where I left off and keep things consistent for a video front. Modern re-releases have made that so much easier for a lot of different games over the years for me. Heck, even when I covered Majora's Mask years ago, I was able to back up my save pretty regularly and also show off a lot of very specific things because of the practice ROM, because it let me jump around. So, modern tools is usually how I like covering retro games, because it's just way easier for me to get video footage of very specific things. And for reference sake, if you want to do all the things in Bomberman Hero, it's pretty difficult, because you need to get a perfect score on every level. So you need to find everything, all the powers, all the crystals, and then also get a really good run of the bosses, because they're time-based for your score. They're really hard games to get everything, because of everything you gotta do. That's why it'd be nice to have a modern port. I mean, I've just been asking for that for years anyways with the Bomberman stuff, like with 64, Hero, and especially Second Attack, because Second Attack might as well translate to Second House Mortgage with how much you have to pay for it nowadays. So it'd be nice to have those games get re-released. I mean, Konami's trying, because they're re-releasing the Super Bomberman Collection, which is all of the original Bomberman games, like the Super series. So that's a step in the right direction. I would like to see them do that with the 3D games as well, because they don't really get enough love. 64 was released on the Wii U Virtual Console, so that's gotten a re-release. Hero's gotten a re-release, as mentioned before. But Second Attack has gotten nothing. And while I'm on my wish list of things, can we get that Goemon collection, Konami? Like, please? It's Japanese only for some reason. I know the Goemon games sold better in Japan than it did in the West, but I would like to see the collection be here stateside, because that means we might get Mystical Ninja Story Goemon someday re-released, and that would be amazing. Can we get that? I have a lot of wishes, because there's a lot of things you can do on re-releases, but companies just sit on this stuff because I guess they hate money. Because fans would buy the stuff up in an instant. Yeah, Castlevania 3D also didn't get a port. I mean, they're making a new one, from what I hear now, like a new 2D Castlevania, so they're giving Castlevania love again, which has been nice to see. But there are some games that still need a re-release, and there's been a lot of Castlevania collections, so there are certain games that still need a collection of some kind to get a release. How much health do you have? That hasn't been more than 8 hits. Not helping when Eggman leaves the screen, because I can't do anything when he's not here. There we go. Holy crap, that took like an hour of hitting. Now, I can't hit the center, because electric. Oh, those shots are massive in this version. I shrunk those down incredibly for 16-bit. Mind you, just don't be near him and the hitbox doesn't hit you. Also, this electricity on the bottom is just like a suggestion? Yeah, that didn't hurt me at all. That was really weird. Yeah, new game I heard was from Dead Cells devs, which that's really nice to see. They worked with the Castlevania IP briefly, because they did that Castlevania crossover. So they already have a little bit of experience with working with Konami, so that's nice to see that they, you know, get to make a full-blown game now with them. Oh, I still have my ring. I thought I lost it. That's another game I want to play at some point. I've owned Dead Cells for years, but I never played it. That barely clipped my foot. I don't know, there's just been so many Metroidvanias and roguelikes that it's just been hard to keep up. That's my big thing. I mean, as of late, it definitely helped because when I had no internet for a week, listen to the end of yesterday's stream if you want to know that story. TLDR, when a company buys out your ISP, things go south fast, and that's exactly what happened to me. But, yeah, this past week, I didn't really have anything. I was playing a lot of Ball Pit on my Steam Deck. That's been my roguelike for right now. It's been a lot of fun. Very easy to pick up and play, because each round's like 10 to 15 minutes. And it's just very addicting. You can turn off your brain and play the game. It's very, very simple. But it gets really deep, too, if you really want to, like, put yourself into the min-maxing approach. And also, if you like Sims games, the in-between section, when you're putting down houses and growing crops and such, is a pretty good Sim-like experience as well. It's not going to be on the level of Stardew Valley, but to be fair, that's not its main focus. That makes sense. About the Dead Cells because of Castlevania crossover. You know what's funny thing for me? Dead Cells was put on my radar because of that infamous IGN review. How did that, like... Wait a minute. Hang on, I need to take a minute to ask how the hell did he die in 2 hits? When we were here before, that was way more than 2. So I guess he just has a uniformed health bar? And somehow, I guess I only broke off the fire piece first, and then the other health bar was still like half full for his electric part. I'm just BSing at this point because that is extremely inconsistent, which has been the theme for Triple Trouble. I legit don't understand how it took 2 hits this time and like 8 last time. That is so stupid. Without a health bar, how am I supposed to know that? Yeah, I couldn't get to the ring. I guess we'll find out now if that's gonna also happen again. Because I don't know how I hit him twice and that defeated the boss. It's like the Ors 7-8 too much water. To be fair, I knew about that after I played Ors, and that just made me laugh more. But the review I'm referring to was there was a person that worked at IGN, and it was very short-lived based on how the Dead Cells review went. There was a guy who reviewed the game, but it wasn't actually his review. He plagiarized the whole thing. And it became very obvious very fast. IGN got slammed with hate for that one, so they immediately took the review down and fired the guy. That's just where it went. Like, the guy apparently was trying his hand at becoming a game journalist through, like, making YouTube videos at first. But even those videos people looked back at and saw, yeah, these were also plagiarized. Like, the guy was very well known for just stealing other people's work. But he got hired at IGN for a short time. Which is kind of funny, in a sense, because IGN's always been known for a lot of terrible reviews. But never before were they known for plagiarizing until that incident. And it's never happened again. It just doesn't help when they already have a bad track record to have a bad apple in their staff. That just made it worse. And again, it was very short-lived. Yeah, look at this. What the heck, dude? Last time was 2 hits, this time was 5. How? How did I defeat him so fast? How did I get a quick kill? That is so stupid. Dude, you're in my ring. I kinda needed that. Yeah, got a crit hit. I guess that's the only thing that makes sense, yeah, because what the heck happened? That just added to the extreme inconsistency factor I've been feeling with this game the whole time I've been playing it. Again, it's definitely a product of its time kind of game, because it's solid, it's a fun game, but man, it has a lot of jank. Thankfully, this is the final boss, so once we beat Eggman here, we're done. I just gotta get past the jank so I can beat him. Because he's not hard. I already know how this boss functions because of 16-bit. Playing that before playing the original Triple Trouble is definitely the better idea, because you get to learn how most of these bosses play in a game that's a lot more functional by comparison. Oh, I was trying to jump there, but the game was so laggy, it just didn't come out. Okay, there you go. I got like 4 hits that time. So I think I might know what happened during that 2-hit cycle beforehand. I think I hit him multiple times, but I didn't hear the sound effect, so I thought I only hit Eggman like twice, and he died. But no, I got multiple hits in at once. That's why he died. That's still an inconsistent thing, because I can't replicate that, but I understand how it works. Alright, get out of there. And he's gone. To be fair, if I don't want to bother trying to dodge, I just stand here like this, get hit, grab my ring, and just keep on doing the same thing over and over again. And now he's going slower, so I can actually do damage to Eggman. I think he's done. Yep, he's done. That was very easy by just standing in the corner like that. You don't have to try. Give him a boop on the head, and that gives us the final Chaos Emerald. But because we didn't get the other 5, Yeah, we're just sitting pretty with 2. So, 1 Chaos Emerald from a special stage, 1 from Eggman, 5 more remaining. Get good, scrub. And this is where this game ends. Because there's no extra stage after this. We'll just go right to credits. Oh, sorry, I tripped. I dropped 3 of these. Oh, that's right. We did get 2. So yeah, it was 3 left. And that's how the game ends, which is kind of anticlimactic if you don't get the emeralds. But if you literally only get credits for getting them all, then what is the point? That is such a dumb reward for getting all the Chaos Emeralds. That's not really worth it for most players. Especially given how you need to not only know where the Chaos Emerald stages are and find them, but then have 50 rings to even jump into the special stage. It's like the sun must align kind of setup for a special stage. That's way too much work. I'm not going to play the whole game again, but I just want to play a level real fast with Tails. Because he should be able to fly here, right? No, he does not have flight. Okay, never mind. I mean, they do have different controls, right? The game is not gaslighting me on that menu. I need to say, hang on. They said different things I can do with this character. Yeah, you get the Strike Dash as Sonic, Prepare Flight as Tails. Strike Dash, I think, is the equivalent of the Super Peel Out. It's just called something different in this. But what is the other move for Tails? It has to be the same idea, right? And to be fair, not knowing how to do that for the Sonic playthrough did not matter. Because you want to always be spin dashing. Super Peel Out's not that helpful in Sonic because it's the same as a spin dash, but you're more vulnerable. So, what I always like doing with the move is activate it and immediately hold down, which is basically a spin dash. And yeah, see, that's Super Peel Out. I get why they probably wouldn't have given flight to Tails. That would have made the game a little too easy. And at that point, there'd be no reason to pick Sonic. But man, some of this level design really does feel like being able to fly would make a massive difference. Oh, nope, that is flight. Okay. That is so weird, though. You normally jump to activate flight, but you can't do that at all in this game. When you're jumping, it doesn't count. You have to hold up and then hit the jump button, and then you can fly. So you can't fly after a jump, which is really odd. The flight's a little slow, but you stay in the same, like, altitude. Okay, why am I just not flying there? Must be too close to the loop. This is a very weird way of flying. I can't even understand why they programmed it that way. It's not like the Game Gear didn't have enough buttons, and even then, the game only uses one button for both characters. You could have programmed it to have flight be the second button if you wanted to keep the jump into like the roll from like a spring here, for example. Because this system had multiple buttons. It wasn't like you had one. It's not an Atari 2600. I know they wanted to keep Sonic games simple enough. Okay, you can fly out of a spring. That is really weird. Yeah, I don't see any reason why you'd play as Sonic, because Tails legitimately has a lot of advantages compared to Sonic. He's the easy mode of the game, but to be fair, with the jank design this game has, because it's aged like fine milk, I would take anything I can get. And that's how I missed that the first time. It spawned over the other side. Wow, that's so inconsistent, dude. Also, you need to be at like a standstill to do the flight with Tails, because I'm trying to do it. There we go. I was trying to do it while moving, and it just wasn't letting me. And I'm trying to do it here from a jump, because I can do it from a spring, but no, just not work with a jump. It is very weird to control, but I'm just so used to the other Sonic games for flight that this specific game's flight control is very abnormal. It's not terrible, it works, it just doesn't feel right. I think I have my fill of Triple Trouble in general now for tonight. Between the fan remake and then the original, we played a lot of Triple Trouble. I would say this is probably one of the better Game Gear games. I can definitely agree with that sentiment from a lot of people, but at the same time, yeah, now with the 16-bit remake, I don't see any reason why I would go back and play this specific game anymore. If you only had this game, then sure, yeah, it'd probably still be worth going back to, even with its jank, just because it's the only way you can play it. So with save states and like a modern release of the game, you can kind of bypass a lot of the jank and just kind of deal with it. And if you can look past it, yeah, Sonic Triple Trouble, the original, is still pretty fun, just aged pretty poorly. But there is no reason to go back and play this one now because of the 16-bit fan remake. It is basically a different game, but it's a great retelling. It's basically how I look at, say, the original Metroid to Metroid Zero Mission. They're basically the same style of game with the same story and all, but the originals aged pretty horribly, and the remake fixes so many issues while adding new gameplay on top of it. That is how I feel between the 16-bit fan remake to the original. The 16-bit version is the Metroid Zero Mission for Sonic Triple Trouble. Fixes all the problems while adding a lot of new. So I'm glad I went back and played this one after. It was a good perspective shift, I will say that. But I think that's enough of this. I'm gonna quit. I'm gonna turn off the game now because it blasts in my ears and I don't want that. So that's gonna do it for tonight. A lot of Sonic in our lives for tonight's stream. But again, it was fun to play both versions of Sonic Triple Trouble back to back. We might revisit the 16-bit remake in the future, as there are other game modes now to play, since I unlocked Knuckles, Fang, and there's even Amy to play through, so I got a couple different things to obviously still do in the 16-bit variant. So we might revisit that in the future. But for now, that first playthrough was a lot of fun, and it's easy to recommend. And also, obviously, yeah, the 16-bit was interesting. Well, not 16, 8-bit was interesting, but not one I'm going to go back and play again. I'm just glad I streamed it. But with that said, that's it for tonight's stream. So tomorrow we'll be back again, as I announced earlier. Since we have now a release date, which is now, technically, for Tangle and Whisper. They're now out in Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, and tomorrow starts the Tangle and Whisper Festival. We'll be playing that for our multiplayer game for the month. So come back here tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern. We'll be playing Sonic Racing Cross World. Bring your copy of the game and make sure it's up to date so you can play as the two Archie characters. It's gonna be a lot of fun. That said, that's pretty much it. Go check out Pikmin 2 if you haven't already. I feel like a broken record saying that, but hey, we're getting into the final set of caves now in the game, and that's where things get really interesting. So check out the series if you haven't already. But with that said, that's it for me for tonight. Thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys back here tomorrow for some Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. Take care and have a good night, everybody.